intellectual property right asset-backed security in addition to an interest rate. This interest rate is highly tied to that note and the interest rate you put into that note that you added as collateral right here in the UCC1. These ratings can be boosted if the intellectual property is credit enhanced. When I tell you legalize bank robbery, that's the same thing they're really telling you here without necessarily using those verbiage. IP securitization, intellectual property securitization, a financial practice that includes transforming future income streams generated by intellectual property, IP, assets into tradable securities. So you're telling me I can take something that's not tangible and intellectual properties and turn it into tradable securities? Wow. What a wonderful world we live in. Has seen tremendous expansion and innovation over the years. David Bowie pioneered this breakthrough concept in 1997 when he securitized the future royalties. Royalties, another word for cash flow or dividends in some other way, from his 25 most popular albums. Let's pause here. When people write books, which is also classified as research and development, if you've ever wondered why many people are always quick to write books, or the reason why you would want to write books, it is for the purpose of research and development and securitizing that intellectual properties. And I don't know, maybe if I were you, what you would also do is within that foreword of it or introduction of the book, maybe in the first few pages, when you see people say, I dedicate this wonderful book to my wife, loving and supporting my daughter, who's 3 years old, that I want to teach entrepreneurship. Do you know that when people do that at the beginning of their books, listen very carefully. You can do this too. When people do that, they mention people's name where they dedicate the book to. That is for the purpose of intellectual property, so that those names mentioned as a dedication can later have interest in those properties long after that father has been dead. So that daughter that was 3 years old when the book was created, and then he engaged in intellectual property mediums through research and development and securitization. By the time that child turns 18, that child is a multi-millionaire, because she is now an interest holder who will be gaining dividends, cash flow, royalties through that book, because she has been named as a beneficiary. The way that a beneficiary is named in research and development as it pertains to books is by dedicating the book to that man or woman. Whenever you dedicate a book to someone and you declare it at the beginning of it, kind of like a declaration of trust being the first few documents for trust. Exactly. That's what people are doing in books when they write, I dedicate this to my beautiful son, my beautiful daughter, my grandfather, my wife, all that. People who have eyes in the world of business and know things when it comes to intellectual property are seeing the declaration of trust where beneficiaries are being listed. That's game that I'm putting you on. Anyway, moving on. David Bowie pioneered this breakthrough concept in 1997 when he securitized the future royalties. Future royalties. That's what people are doing when they list. At this point, all these terms should basically be ringing a bell if you've been watching the different parts of the video. And in my opinion, the most important role, the credit enhancer, is this, whoever this is, or whatever entity this is, if you don't have someone on the inside to do this for you, you're outsourcing it by hiring them, whoever this credit enhancer is, can make or break all the other someone something through an indirect mechanism. This indirect mechanism, see how all of them just speak around it and they'll just throw it on the table directly to you and tell you, look, you just need a private placement memorandum. They don't tell you that directly. Why should they? Because they want you to go to them, pay them $2,000 for 1 hour. These people, you should look into it. If you're going to get these people to consult you and stuff, just explain these things in these videos, they charge $2,000 upward. And I know people who do that. This indirect mechanism, they're not telling you it's the PPM. I'm telling you it's the private placement memorandum. The originator of the intellectual property asset is the company that owns said asset, which is to be securitized, i.e. being financed to investors through an indirect mechanism. It is the originator that transfers the asset to the special purpose vehicle, which is created on its own. So what is the special purpose vehicle? It is created by the originator to transfer, meaning the purpose of this SPV, the special purpose vehicle, is to transfer the intellectual property asset instead of the fund, which the special purpose vehicle provides to the originator. The special purpose vehicle raises the previously mentioned funds from the investors in return for the intellectual property right asset by issuing intellectual property security-backed instruments, or it can also create a trust. Although it is created by the originator, it is a separate legal entity. This special purpose vehicle is what I just showed you in this video when it comes to intertwining express trust and LLCs. The special purpose vehicle is also the same thing that I showed you in the video of how to create 508s in these video series. So now you see all these videos created about 1.5 years to 2 years ago really links to this. All these videos are created to be intertwined. No matter how different you may look at it while watching the video, they are all the same. See what I mean when I say it will take thousands of hours to really explain to people how this works? Because it does take that much time. At least with someone who really cares about you and don't want to just arbitrarily throw stuff at you and just say, go do it. You don't get it, your problem. Taking the time to explain and showing it matters. Because that's how you can make the information yours. I don't need you to need me to do these in the future. I want you to get it so that you will be minimally on the same level as me so that we can begin to do things on a different level. And if that's not the case, you just keep doing it. And you make your life and other people's better beyond social media speculation. And they are so kind enough to even give you the cheat sheet of how everything correlates in a form of a simple diagram. That's it right there if you need it. It's right there if you want to know how the structure is and what role people play, summarized in a diagram. Although for some staring at this, it might make no sense. And it might be even easy for them to misconstrue things. But the core is this. This originator is express trust. Now this role of comes in. Most people who are doing this thing on social media with trademark things, Ligas, the UCC1, all this, all right, the hold harmless SPC secured party, all right. What now? Do you know these things? Do you know certain people to do certain things with and will do stuff for you? Up next, the big world joined by contract. Contracts is what join different things, or at least things that seems different, but really are the same. The process of securitization. The procedure of securitization is such that it facilitates the holder of the IP, intellectual property asset, also known as the original. The complete videos on the page. Take care. Best of luck.